This is the Aldora devlog. Let us begin. Okay, so when it comes towards yesterday, I did a few little different types of things before I went to work. So jumping in towards the game for today, there was a couple of little different types of things that I actually worked on yesterday. This is in regard to the reputation system. So if we go in towards number 4, which is our quest log and stats and everything, we can have a look at our reputations. We can see we've got a few right now, which is like Aronia, Valandir, Shaldara, Aldora, Genora, and Lilyfoot Isle. Now, these ones will upgrade, and how are we supposedly going to do this? Well, the most simplest option of giving reputations is by doing quests. So you do that with the base character quests in that particular region, and you'll get the reputation. This can actually give out different types of perks like reducing costs or buying selected items or anything to that effect. And I did, however, add that in towards the quest lines. So when we come over towards this one, which is Cull the Threat, you'll receive 5 reputation with Aronia as a whole, because we are in the continent of Aronia, and that just makes sense in my mind. However, I am considering breaking that down even further into their separate regions in order to actually build it out a bit more. If we go towards the vendor that we were actually looking at, we can see that we want to buy a copper sword. We've got 100 gold, and let's just move this over here for a second. And say I wanted to buy this, well, I can press that and it will say you need 50 rep with Aronia in order to actually buy that, even if you have the right amount of gold. However, I did actually post a post on Reddit, on the Game Dev Reddit yesterday, and I managed to get some feedback from a very helpful user. They were talking about the scroll boxes and probably not having this, because it'll be a little bit more unfriendly. However, this can be actually done with a tooltip. So when I get my next day off of work, I'll have to start working on implementing the tooltip that we would have generally in our bags. We have our tooltip, and at the moment the inventory system is getting overhauled a little bit, so they're not working. However, in that sense, we can just keep going with all of that. With that being said, we do have overlap issues with the drop down menu and everything, and we were talking about graying out the item or just producing that you do not have the item to equip it. So if you press buy, it says that red text. Why don't you have that already? Check it and then just display that you don't have enough of X in order to get it straight off the bat, instead of someone going, oh, I want this, and then they go, oh okay. So generally speaking, I can run that through that, so when they're being created I can do the system checks prior to that, and then you can buy the item. I can do the checks twice or once. I probably will end up doing it twice because it's just generally easier to do it twice to make sure that everything is working in order. Say we bought copper ore though, and we bought 2 of those, we've got 0 gold, we don't have enough gold. We can then produce that text line as well, so we can produce those in the description on that. And judging by everything else, removing the scroll wheels, actually while we were discussing it yesterday, it just makes a bit more sense in that general area and sense of everything. So probably we'll go on to all of that. With everything else and moving forward, I'm going to overview my little data sheet of all the other little nits and bits that I want to do. I'll note down everything we discussed on the Reddit yesterday with that feedback. That was really super helpful, and then I will just jump into getting all of the other little different types of systems done before, as and when I have the time, and then we can then build this out even further. Other than that, that's pretty much everything I have to talk about for today. It's going to be a bit of a stretched day because, yeah, work, day job, juggling, you know what I mean. But other than that, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.